Hello and welcome to this week's Coach and Go. If you guys squint really close, look really hard at your screen, you'll notice that I'm not Jim Delliman. I'm Stevie from the Group Travel Odyssey team filling in today. Just a friendly reminder before we jump in, go to grouptravelodyssey.com for more great information about our company and our system here. And also, friendly reminder, subscribe to Group Travel Odyssey on YouTube, follow us on LinkedIn, and like us on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, one thing I would suggest doing is subscribing and then hitting that bell. I think I'm on the right side here. I've never done this before, but here we go. That's kind of hard to do, but there you go. Hit that bell and that'll give you notifications anytime we come out with new content or anything like that. Today, we're going over a really neat topic. We're talking about a new booking process in Trip Manager. And to help me do that, I'm going to bring on someone you know, Christina Luth. Christina, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Stevie?
Doing great. So, tell us a little bit more about today's topic and why we're kind of covering it today.
Absolutely. So we're really excited about today. So we've been trying to announce it for a while, and hopefully you're tuning in and excited about it too. So today's topic is going to be in Trip Manager, and it's about trip products. So we've heard a lot of your feedback, which again, we love having that feedback from you about how that process with that booking button that you have on your trip in Trip Manager, how those steps in the process could have been improved. There were some things that were just a lot of filling in information, and we've significantly improved the time it will take for you to move through that process. So making that booking of your products a lot easier. So we're excited to show you.
Cool. I love it. So let's go ahead. I'll bring your screen up and I'll let you dive in. Let's
All right. Let's go through it here. All right. So I am on a test trip here. And so the process that's different, and you won't notice anything different off the bat. This is a trip, and you're looking right here into your trip products, the trip products tab. And it's this same booking status button that you've been used to, except when you click it, it's going to do something new now. So when you click this request booking, I'm just going to do the San Diego Zoo here. You will notice that this screen is different. So what you will see here is this is going to be the first step of the process. That's request booking. So the only things you really need to answer here. So what you'll notice is we have a lot less that you have to fill in. It's very targeted to what you're doing at this step in the process. So all you really need to do here is fill in what you would want to request of the booking. So we can pick a contact. We're just going to pick the first one there. And then you can fill in your requested product start date, end date, and the time. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same one that's listed here. Time, we'll just say 9 a.m. and time, let's just go ahead and say 3 p.m. All right. And then if you would like to go ahead and add anything different about your counts, you can do that. And then also about including the driver and the tour director in the booking, you can adjust that as needed. Then the next question that you'll see, this is a new one, and it's going to ask you if this product was booked already. So just say yes or no. So I'm going to go ahead and say no, just to show you what that looks like. What happens then is your date requested is automatically going to fill in as today. And then you can also fill in how that product was booked. Whether you say yes or no, that is going to ask you how you booked it. So email, phone, online, or pre-booked by sales. If you would like to store this information, you can. This is optional. So I'm just going to go ahead and put email in. And then you have this handy dandy button that's send request email. I'm going to avoid pushing that because I don't actually want to request this. But what it will do is it will do that same thing as you're used to before, where it's going to open up an email in your primary email that you have on your computer. And it will fill in the details that you have listed here. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is click this blue save and go back to trip. As soon as you answer that booked already question, this save button will pop up. So just make sure you answer that. That's an important one. So go ahead and push that there. All right. And then we move into the next part. So you will see now it says confirm booking. And this is also going to be a new form. And this is where a lot of the saving of saving time happens as this confirm booking process. So what you would have noticed in the past is what you had to fill in is all of those booked fields, maybe the booked price, the booked number of people going. So now we're going to just ask you some questions so it can auto-fill that in for you. So we're just going to go down the list of the questions until we ultimately have that save and return button. As you can see here, the notes will show up for your convenience if there's anything you need to look at, or you can add as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and answer these. Are your scheduled date and times the same? We're just going to go ahead and say yes. Are your booked passenger numbers the same as the budgeted ones? We'll say yes. Did the supplier offer any individual comps? We'll just say no. Just a quick to show you. If I was to say no for one of these, are your prices the same? You'll notice it allows you to then fill it in. But if you say yes, it's going to autofill it with whatever you have as the budgeted. So if you just need it to be the same, go ahead and say yes. But if you want to change something, make sure you say no. Taxes and fees, are they the same? It looks like we didn't have a tax rate. So if that's still the same case, just go ahead and say yes. And then we have the attachments. If you would like to add an attachment, you can do so at this moment. Otherwise, you can just save and return to trip. A quick note, this is an attraction that I picked as my trip product. There are some additional questions, a same thing. They'll be all yes, no questions. If you have such thing as an airline, or if you have a motor coach or a hotel, those all have some additional questions as there's additional fields. And go ahead and save and return. All right. And next we go to guarantee final count. All right. So this is also, again, a new form. So all these forms are new. So the guarantee guest count you would have noticed before was really just the same thing as the confirm. It had a lot of fields on it. So what we've done instead is we're just asking you to confirm what you've already entered. So what you'll notice is those times, those booked, everything filled in. So everything I said yes to was the same. Now you can see that it worked. It filled in all of that booked information. Now, my only real question here is all the information accurate? And it's telling you to check your times, check your counts, your pricing, and taxes and fees. When you go to guarantee your guest count, if that is all the same, say yes. If you say no, it's going to let you edit this information. But otherwise, you can go ahead and just say yes, and it will tell you to proceed to the next section, which is the final itinerary section. So just push OK. Also, if you need to go ahead and send an email to guarantee that count, you will see those buttons again like you did before, that send guest count email. Again, that will open up in your email that you have primary on your computer. And this is the other section here about final itinerary. So this was added so that way you can go ahead and at this stage of the process, address what you would want that product to look like on your final itinerary. So you have the options that you're used to, which is to go ahead and not include times, include the product end time, or include address, phone number, web address. So let's just go ahead and click a couple of them to fill it in. And you can notice too that this is the language shown on the final itinerary, and it will change as you're checking these boxes. Now, which language do you want to use? This is the new question here, and you just want to pick standard or override. If I want standard, it's going to use this language that you see right here. If I want to override it, it will then allow you to type in whatever you would like, and that will show up as you can see there. So we can go ahead and let's just copy it over, and we're just going to go ahead and bold this. So you can do a little bit of editing as well, as far as making things bold, italicized, underlined, and then you can see that that would be included and what your language would look like on your final itinerary. So you can go ahead, and at this point we have entered that in, and you can save and return to the trip. All right. And then the next part of our booking process, the last part, is going to be that reconfirm booking. So again, you're most likely not going to go through these as all together in a row. These are going to be spread out amongst time when you're booking your trip. But these are just to show you what each of the forms would look like. So this is going to be that reconfirm, and it's going to ask you if all the information below is accurate. And so you're going to check your schedule date and time, your passenger counts, your pricing, taxes, and also that final itinerary. So if anything in those sections needs to be adjusted, go ahead and click. You can go ahead and click no, and it will let you adjust it. Otherwise, just go ahead and click yes, everything is correct. And then you can see that handy dandy button is right there to save and return to trip. And if I scroll back down, you can see my product is now completed. So that is what we have done for you in order to make that process easier with the booking. Is it's those buttons that you have. It puts that information in there, just lets you fill in all of those booking fields in a faster method. So again, that your feedback has helped us to improve that process.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, such a great process, new forms, and a little bit of a new flow of things. If you had to quantify, right, like how helpful this can be to tour operators in the booking process, I mean, can you speak to that a little bit? How much more helpful is this new process compared to maybe the old way?
Absolutely. Well, we heard a lot from you that in the other process that we were using, some of you had trouble, knowing which field to fill in, or possibly, it just took an extra. So we would say probably it would save you in data entry time per product. I would say it probably is going to save you 10, 15 minutes or so. But if you add that up across all your trips, all your products, that can definitely be a huge time saver. In addition, it makes it easier when you're training maybe a new person in your operations department, how to go ahead and book those. It's a lot more direct in walking you through each of those questions. Again, you're just answering those as you go until you get to your save button. So that makes it easier for you to train a new person. Just tell them, keep going until save appears.
I love it. Well, cool. A couple quick, housekeeping things before we wrap up today's session. If you're watching out there, please don't forget to subscribe to Group Travel Odyssey on YouTube. Follow us on LinkedIn and like us on Facebook. We're always putting out helpful content, so be sure to follow us there. If you have any questions about anything, you can email our help desk. There it is at the bottom. The email address is help@gtonetwork.com. And then if you could just put the word help in the subject line, that is super helpful. GTO Coach and Go happens every other Tuesday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. Another live stream we do is called Destination Dispatch. We do those on select Thursdays, and we have one coming up this Thursday. There's going to be a lot of fun. We're actually partnering with Helsinki partners. So we're going to be talking all about the city of Helsinki, Finland, and how groups can experience that. It's really a great destination. A lot of times when we think international European destinations, Paris, London, those type of cities come to mind. But if you're looking to learn a little bit more about another wonderful European city, Helsinki is really cool. And, be sure to tune in on Thursday at 2:00 p.m. Eastern. Right. I think that's it. Did I hit everything, Christina?
That's pretty much it. Only thing I always like to remind people, again, you reminded them, put in that help desk request. Like I said in the beginning, this came from your feedback. So you told us that, hey, we'd really like to see maybe this be a little faster and improved. You can put that into the help desk. Again, put help in the subject line. And it's so helpful for us in the development team to know what kind of things you want. So go ahead and put in those suggestions.
Indeed. Absolutely. Well, Christina, thanks so much for walking us through the new process today. If you're out there watching, thank you so much for tuning in. And that's about it. So we'll see you later.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for watching this episode of GTO Coach and Go. We invite you to stay connected with Group Travel Odyssey on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And be sure to check out more of our media, including Destination Dispatch and the Destinations Beyond Expectations podcast. Please visit our website, grouptravelodyssey.com, where you can learn more about GTO and request a demo. Group Travel Odyssey, business without boundaries.